Hello, my name is Adam Martin. I'm the Vice President of Pre-Construction at Kent Design Build, and I wanted to give you a completed project tour of our recent Phase 2 project at First Baptist Church, Denham Springs. We're currently standing in the existing lobby space, which this entire building is a Butler pre-engineered wide-span structure. So both phases now were both Butler buildings. From this existing lobby, you see behind me, this is the expanded lobby. You can see the expanded cafe behind me, as well as wide open furniture spaces. Kind of the style of this space was flex space, warm and inviting, but also intimate feeling. And so we've got kind of wood tone flooring, we've got acoustical ceiling clouds, which also help with the acoustics in the room, but give it this kind of modern twist to not have just exposed ceilings, but also kind of this uniform traditional look on the interior. So I'm now standing at the connection point between the first phase and the second phase. And there was a lot of careful planning that our team had to do during construction to make sure that when the church was operational, they had the full use of the building while we were adding on to it, and only one wall separating those two functions. So we literally had to build one new space, come up with a plan for water intrusion and mitigation, and then at the post end of the project, remove this wall in order to prepare and bring both spaces together. All right, I'm now standing in the new children's check-in lobby. This is right off of a new private entrance for families as they come in. They easily come directly into this space, check in their children. We both have a preschool and an elementary school age location for them to check in independently. You see now we have iPads that print name badges for security. Behind me, there's also these secure doors that stay locked at all times, so once children check in, there's no one else that can go in during the operation of the services. So we have the building laid out in a way that kind of graduates as the children get older. So it starts off bed babies and moves its way around all the way to school-age children around the perimeter. The way that the rooms are set up, each room has private toilets and restrooms for both the children and the workers, so that for security purposes they don't have to leave the room. Within those rooms we've got changing tables, sinks, kind of all the essentials you need for that service for those children to be cared for. Kind of as you notice, not only is there individual signage, obviously bright colors denoting each room so that children respond and they go to their appropriate color when they arrive. You also see these one-way windows. So the purpose of those windows is so when parents need to come check on their children during the service, they can look at their child and the child can't see mom or dad and react. And so it gives that really comfort to those families to be able to see them and then the children not to disrupt the rest of the room. The entire building has LED lighting, automated controls for the air conditioning, so the efficiencies here were really important to make sure that during the week they had all the controls they needed to make sure their utility consumption was intact. So we're now in the break room for all the preschool and elementary children's ministry area for them to have a green room, if you will. Behind me I'm about to show you is their kids' worship rooms. So one of the things that is extremely vital in a lot of church buildings today is in those kids' ministries having a similar experience as mom and dad in the services. So this wide open children's worship room is for one particular age group, and then we'll show you another one as well that's adjacent to it. I'm now standing in the other children's worship venue. This is for younger age children. Obviously not nearly the amount of chairs and furniture in the room, but the intent was the color-coded carpet squares are oriented in a certain pattern so that the leader in the room can have the children sit in a certain color. We also have one-way glass windows into this room as well, so families can come, look into their children, make sure they're okay, but not distract what's going on. So this is a typical classroom for children in this building. You've got a mixture of hard surfaces, soft surfaces, tables and chairs for activities, natural light, one-way windows. These rooms do not have adjoining bathrooms intentionally because these children are a little older. You'll notice kind of as we've walked down the hallways, they're really generous in width because between services you have that check-in, check-out, all exiting, all entering. So there tends to be a lot of congestion in church world just in the activity and usage of that. So these hallways are very generous in width. They're about 8 feet in width. All right, so now I'm about to take you outside into the new courtyard. We always like to introduce in all our projects when we can, both indoor and outdoor relationship space. It was actually intended for both relational space, that intentional space for families to gather, but there also has some construction intent with it. This separated the two phases from phase 1 to phase 2, allowed us to provide the connectivity we needed the margin we needed, and then obviously provide space for drainage, congregational uses, so it's all flexible space. One of the things that maybe the common person just walks right over and doesn't realize, but in the center of this courtyard, there's a massive cross that was planned into the concrete. So we've got this accent piece that's the center of the property, center of the campus, and from the aerials you get a really clear picture of that cross. Thank you for joining me today on this brief tour as we've concluded this project. We love showing off all of our projects. This was a repeat client for us. We have a high regard for First Baptist Church as well all of our churches. As you know, faith is a major part of our company, and it's also one of our niche markets that we really strive in. So thanks again. We'll see you soon.